I am Venkata Mahidhar Inugunda, Associate Professor and Director of the Drug Discovery and Nanomedicine Research Program at the John Wayne Cancer Institute. We are currently developing therapeutics for CDK5P25, the activity of which we covered in our review. Myself, my co-author Ariana Waters will present the highlights of the review article in the following slides.
CDK5 is predominantly located in postmitotic neurons where it plays a vital role in brain development and regulates multiple aspects of neuron function. Unlike other CDKs, it is not activated by cyclins and does not require phosphorylation for full activity. It is instead activated by its neuron-specific activators P35 and P39 and their proteolytic products P25 and P29. Synthesis of P35 is stimulated by various neurotrophic factors. Degradation of P35 occurs due to the ubiquination signal contained on its N-terminal, or when it is phosphorylated by CDK5. Under neurotoxic conditions, increased calcium levels cause activation of calpain. Calpain then cleaves the P10 fragment off of P35 and P39 to produce P25 and P29 respectively. Loss of the ubiquination signal contained within P10 leads to a 5 to 10-fold increase in stability for P25 and P29, which consequently hyperactivates CDK5. Cleaving P10 also removes the membrane-binding region, freeing the CDK5-P25 complex to phosphorylate non-physiological targets. During cortex formation, newly divided neurons exit the ventricular zone, use radial migration to travel past preceding layers, and deposit to form a pattern of layers below the marginal zone. CDK5 regulates the morphological change in the cells to bipolar configuration and the formation of a leading process. It also facilitates the migration of the nucleus and reduces N-cadherin-mediated cell-to-cell adhesion, allowing migrating neurons to more easily slide past layers of the cortical plate. Mice lacking CDK5 show reduced migration and an inverted distribution of the neural layers. In the developing cerebellum, Purkinje cells migrate radially into the Purkinje cell layer, and their dendritic trees later extend up into the molecular layer. Granule cell precursors tangentially migrate to reach the external granule layer and later back into the internal granule layer in response to signals from the Purkinje dendrites. CDK5 is required for proper radial migration of the Purkinje cells as well as for their proper dendritic branching. It is also needed for proper inward radial migration of the granule cell precursors. CDK5 knockout mice studies show insufficient migration of both Purkinje and granule cells, abnormal Purkinje dendrites, decreased granule cell proliferation, and overall smaller cerebellum. CDK5 is critical for several processes at the molecular level in the adult brain. It phosphorylates a number of microtubule-associated proteins, or MAPs, to either increase or decrease their association with microtubules, leading to their elongation or disassembly. CDK5 phosphorylates MAPs such as axin to promote axonal elongation and CRMP2 to trigger growth cone collapse. Aberrant CDK5 phosphorylation of tau contributes to the formation of neurofibrillary tangles characteristic of Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative disease. CDK5-P35 is also involved in synaptic plasticity, where it phosphorylates different subunits of the NMDA receptor on synaptic surfaces. Phosphorylation of the NR2B subunit decreases synaptic transmission, while phosphorylation of the NR2A subunit increases transmission. While normal CDK5 activity appears to be beneficial for synaptic activity, prolonged exposure from an overactive CDK5 results in neural death. Cell cycle regulation is not CDK5's primary function. However, it is important for suppressing cell cycle reentry in differentiated neurons. CDK5-P35 sequesters EF21, preventing it from progressing the cell cycle from G1 to S, while hyperactive CDK5 can instigate the cell cycle by inactivating histone deacetylase 1. Tau is a microtubule-associated protein that stabilizes microtubules and drives neurite outgrowth. As tau is hyperphosphorylated by the hyperactive CDK5-P25 complex, it disassociates from microtubules, leading to their disassembly. Tau then self-aggregates to form insoluble neurofibrillary tangles within the neuron. These tangles and the destabilized microtubules impair axonal transport, diminish neural communication, and lead to neuronal death. Extracellular amyloid beta plaques are composed of oligomerized amyloid beta peptides. Beta secretase 1 cleaves the amyloid precursor protein, producing amyloid beta 42, which oligomerizes to form senile plaques. Amyloid beta 42 augments calpain activity, driving production of P25 and dysregulated CDK5. CDK5 P25 directly phosphorylates APP, leading to increased amyloid beta production. CDK5 P25 also causes increased transcription and activation of BACE1, leading to increased generation of amyloid beta, forming a positive feedback loop. It also contributes to neuronal cell loss in Alzheimer's through induction of mitochondrial and nuclear fragmentation. CDK5 P25 regulates a large range of proteins responsible for neurodegeneration and protein aggregation in Parkinson's. CDK5 P25 disrupts mitochondrial quality control through inhibition of mitophagy inducers such as parkin and overactivation of mitochondrial fission proteins like DRP1. It also drives oxidative stress, as it is a negative regulator of peroxidases like PRX1 and of APE1, which regulates transcription and repairs DNA lesions in response to oxidative stress. Hyperactive CDK5 also leads to dysregulated autophagy and mitochondrial activity in neurons. CDK5 P25 activates ENDO-B1, causing excessive autophagy induction, and upregulates LRRK2, which then disrupts protein clearance. Physiological CDK5 activity is neuroprotective in Huntington's disease. CDK5 P35 activity has been shown to reduce caspase-mediated polyQ cleavage and eventual aggregation of mutant huntingtin by phosphorylating it at serine 343. CDK5 P35 also disrupts mutant huntingtin aggregation in primary neurons by destabilizing the microtubule network through its phosphorylation of microtubule-associated proteins. Existing drug discovery strategies for CDK5 inhibition fall into three categories, the first being non-selective small molecule ATP competitors. First-gen CDK5 inhibitors, such as roscovatine, primarily fall under this category. This method is unfavorable for several reasons, including off-target toxicity and inhibition of physiological CDK5 P35. No ATP-competitive or non-ATP binding region CDK5 inhibitors have progressed to clinical trials for treatment of neurodegenerative disease. The second category is the selective disruption of protein-CDK interactions using peptides derived from CDK5 activators. CDK inhibitory peptide, or CYP, is derived from P35 and inhibits CDK5 P25 activity in cortical neurons through competitive inhibition, without affecting endogenous CDK5 P35 or other CDKs. P5 is a smaller peptide derived from P25 and displays increased potency and specificity over CYP. Peptide CDK5 inhibitors have unfortunately not progressed to clinical trials due to the low stability and half-life of the peptides. The third most recent category is the selective disruption of the P25-CDK5 protein interaction using small molecule inhibitors. Protein-protein interaction-based screening presents a promising avenue of P25-CDK5 inhibition that remains selective while maintaining stability.
In conclusion, aberrant CDK5-P25 activity represents a crucial mechanism underlining the development of neurodegenerative disease. However, specific inhibition of the CDK5-P25 complex is necessary to abrogate CDK5's pathological features while retaining normal CDK5-P35 function. Therefore, future CDK5 inhibitors should display high selectivity, effective brain delivery, and will disturb the specific CDK5-P25 interactions. Finally, I would like to thank co-authors for their contribution, and thank you American Chemical Society for the invitation to submit present live slide deck as part of ACS Editor Choice program.